You ever wanted a Mario Kart type game, but except with having Mario and Luigi, you play as either Dale Earnhardt or Jeff Gordon? Well, back in 2000, we had just that. On January 31st, 2000, NASCAR Rumble was released on the PlayStation. It had the officially licensed drivers from both the Cup Series, a few Busch Series drivers, and a handful of Truck Series drivers from the 1999 season. Players could race through 18 different courses set in 6 different areas, collecting power-ups to aid them. The main objective of the game is to win a race or series of races against 1 to 5 opponents. You can either race as or against regular stock cars or stock cars that would be modified to the limit, as well as some of the Truck Series best at this particular time, as well as a few drivers that are no longer with us today, and John Andretti, Adam Penny, and Kenny Irwin Jr. Not to mention the multiple fantasy cars you can choose from. You already saw one of them in the preview screen when the game was loading. The 153 EA Sports Pontiac is available to use in the game as soon as you unlock it. This type of licensed NASCAR game is pretty unique on its own, but when you compare it to NASCAR Unleashed, yes, the concepts are extremely similar, but are executed much differently. Both games were released in totally different eras of console gaming, and to me, for this type of game to be good, the overall physics and the power-ups need to be amazing. And quite frankly, in my days of playing NASCAR Unleashed, I kept going back and thinking how NASCAR Rumble was so much better to me. For those who have never played this before, here's some really quick gameplay.
Watch out for the birdie! Okay, who's next? Woo, yeah! They are... Woohoo! We got a live one!
Another feature in the game includes the voice of actor Jess Harnell, who talks to you during the race. He's either supporting you or making fun of you while racing. If that wasn't enough, you could also do different types of championships. For starters, you had your typical single player championship, where you race 3 races and whoever collects the most points wins that particular championship. But you also had more. You could do a cyber team championship, where there are 3 teams with 2 players on each. The team members combine their points and the standings are based on both members, so it can be a good check of strength for an expert opponent. There was also the classic co-op mode where 2 human players are on one team. There is also a legend mode where a player can unlock a past NASCAR driver in a championship against the legend and 4 regular drivers. The 2 most underrated features of this game to me are without a doubt the game's menu soundtrack as well as the mini movies you could watch. The 3 mini movies consisted of a trailer for NASCAR 2000. And let's not forget my personal favorite, and OGs will remember this, EA Sports Cyber Athlete.
Knock, knock. Who's there? The Cyber Athlete. Because you're in the house of EA Sports 2000. Home of the look at us now Cyber Athletes, the planet's only truly perfect athletes. Uh-oh, forget to bring your game? Fine, we'll leave your ego on the doorstep marked return to sender. Cause we're back with pupil-popping moves and cranium-thumping hits. Every growling foot and international Tinder bots. Demolishing asphalt with heavily decaled wrecking balls. And starring in 24-hour fist festivals. Old school, new school, either way, we'll school ya. Hitting so hard, you'll yodel through your nose. We're mud-mucking dirt devils, giants charging with thundersticks. The guys who speak in national championship outbursts and answer to the name of Mr. Boom Boom Bang Bang Bye Bye. You still want in this house? Remember one thing. No talk, no walk, no way. Sincerely, the Cyber Athletes of EA Sports 2000.
And finally, some of the best ending credits a video game has ever had in my personal opinion, with all of these souped up cars in the background. A question that had always been on my mind is how come NASCAR Rumble never had a sequel, Well, there's a multitude of reasons. Number one being, upon its release, the game was immediately outdated. Not only did it have the outdated driver lineup from 1999 heading into the 2000 season, but the console it was on was soon to be obsolete. On October 26, 2000, the PS2 was released in the American market. And with the Electronic Arts team at the time solely focused on trying to make the next-gen NASCAR games the best they could be, and to their credit they did so, a NASCAR Rumble sequel was never made. But the thing is, there kind of is a sequel. A non-NASCAR licensed sequel was made for the PS2 in Rumble Racing. The very basis of NASCAR Rumble was used for this game, and it shows in the gameplay.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine.
Rumble Racing was released on April 23, 2001, and to the game's credit was marketed a hell of a lot better than NASCAR Rumble was. To me, I wish they would have just used the very basis of NASCAR Rumble to make a NASCAR Rumble sequel. I'd have to imagine NASCAR Rumble on the PS2 would have been epic in those days, but unfortunately it just wasn't an ambition that EA Sports had at the time. The game is amazing without a doubt, and honestly younger fans should pick this game up whenever they see it on Amazon, eBay, wherever. It's pretty cheap in some places you can buy on there, and honestly it's a piece of NASCAR gaming history that sort of gets forgotten. But the overall legacy is what could have been. If this game was marketed a hell of a lot better and was progressing on the PS2, I think a NASCAR Rumble game being released on the PS2 simultaneously with the NASCAR Thunder games in those days would have been amazing. We'll never know what the game would have looked like for sure, but I am sure of one thing. NASCAR Rumble is without a doubt one of the most underrated motorsports releases in console history. If you ever have a chance to get this game, I highly recommend doing so. It can not only be played on the PS1, but the PS2 as well. But remember, if you do get it and play it on the PS2, just make sure you have a PS1 memory card. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.